All right, we are back. Watchers, what is up? I am on and I have a special treat for you guys today. I have been blessed to have different podcasts that I've listened to over the years and have been blessed to kind of maybe make a friendship with these guys and they've been gracious enough to at least answer my stupid questions about their podcast. But um last week we had on a good friend, Anthony Caruso of Tis the Podcast, and it was a great episode with him, and I'm delivering another great episode here today. I was able to fangle on, you know one of my newfound favorite podcast, the Haunted Hangover, and Louie Cortes of the Haunted Hangover. Louie, welcome to Now Watch This. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it so much, brother. How are you doing today?
Joe, thank you for having me on the show. So I really appreciate it. Uh Feeling good, man. Excited to talk to you here. Excited to be on your show. It is
Well,
funny how you had the Christmas guy on during the spooky season, and then now you're having the Halloween guy on after the Christmas guy during the actual. It should be the other way around. You should have the other guy on in like November, December, and then you should have had me on before him. But listen, it's your show.
yes, yes, yes. Well, I do usually keep my stuff in order, but Anthony, while he is the Christmas guy, he is the horror side of Christmas guy. So
Oh, okay.
I'm able to get that with him. But the dream would be to have you two on together, and we just do Nightmare Before Christmas sometime in November, so we can decide once and for all: is that a Christmas movie? Is that a Halloween movie? Let
Hmm.
y'all fight it out.
The debate of the century. Is it one or the other? So yes,
it
that would be a fun debate.
yeah.
So I'm
Is
down.
is it like Polar Express and just a straight up horror movie? Because Polar Express is a scary movie. Like Haunted. I mean, who's it? Tom Hanks just looks crazy in that movie. You got to agree with that, don't you?
You know what? I've never actually sat through that whole thing. I've seen clips of it and like, it'll play on like the Family Channel or whatever. Freedom, I think is what it's called now during the holidays. And it is kind of like uncanny valley, weird looking CGI recreations of people. So yeah, I might after this holiday season sit down and watch that train movie, that train
No,
Christmas. No,
don't
okay, I guess
don't
not.
no. Please do not let me be the reason that you watched that movie. But I knew there was a reason why I liked you, Louis, man.
There we go.
But
Glad to hear that.
talk about your podcast, man.
Yeah.
Haunted Hangover, because I'm like I said, I'm lame. I just found the podcast, but you've been doing this thing for about 5 years now, and I think you're just getting better by the show, because I listened to shows in the beginning and now I've listened to shows at the end, and dude, the production's just stepping up and up and up.
That's the way of the game, right? You want to get better, not worse. Right? So like for me it was always like, all right, when I first started, I just bought a mic and I just whatever camera, I had, my background's in filmmaking, so I was always used to video cameras and stuff like that. I never thought about a audio interface or setup with, mixing and mastering audio and things like that. So when I first started, I was just like whatever $50 mic I had and headphones and
Yes.
plug it right into the computer. Now it's better. I have a different setup and I always want to get better. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a constant evolution, man. From when I started this, because that wasn't really the birth technically of Haunted Hangover. When I started the podcast, when I started the show 5 years ago, I never wanted to be in front of the camera. I never wanted to
Mhm.
be the focal point, the face of anything, because I was always behind the camera.
Yeah.
So, you kind of just grow similar to, like you said, how the audio was better, and probably even my own cadence, my own delivery, my conversations I'm having with my co-host or my guest. Over time, it just becomes second nature, and it's kind of crazy how you evolve. And I never take any moment to kind of take it in, because
Mhm.
it's always going. I've just been producing, content for the
Yeah.
brand for so long that I never take a second to sit back, look. and be like, damn, I've been doing this for 5 years straight with no real breaks. I think my longest break was maybe 2 weeks of not doing an episode. So
Wow.
like, yeah, maybe 3 weeks, but I think it was like
Yeah.
2 weeks. It's just become second nature. It's a part of my life. And yeah, probably do it until I can't speak anymore.
Bro, no, no, that's it's definitely inspiring to someone
Yeah.
like me that is kind of just starting off, just starting off with that mic, using the same camera that I have on my laptop, and things like that. I do hope to one day get all of the ums out of my podcast, but that's probably not gonna happen anytime soon.
It'll I still say it's gonna happen. It's you gotta realize that as at a certain point, that's just the way you speak.
Yeah,
It's like with the
like,
some people do it more than others. I've
yeah.
tried to learn to curb it a bit, but every now and then you got to take a moment so an comes out. I mean, that's how we all speak in real life sometimes. So
It is,
never be
and
hard on yourself. At the end of the day, you are doing it. You are
yes,
here with me on your show.
yes,
So
sir.
you got to give yourself a pat on the back because it
No,
exists. It's a
and
thing.
yeah, and I gotta tell you, you're a big get, man. Like, dude, I've seen a lot of the work that you've done, and you've grown your podcast from a small podcast, and now you have a good cast of characters. You're doing Halloween specials, some of the stuff that you liked as a kid growing up, right? So, is that how you came about the Haunted Hangover podcast? Is just some of the stuff that you saw growing up that you wanted to replicate?
Yeah, Haunted Hangover, we have a weird kind of history. It's
Mhm.
just the way the brand started. So, initially, my sister and I wanted to start something reviewing haunted attractions and events and
Okay,
things
okay.
like that, and more like a video context, more like video blogging, vlogging, whatever kind of production behind it. So I'd film her, she'd be the host. Think kind of like, an Elvira hosting haunted house reviews.
No, dude, I've seen these early videos, and
Yeah,
again, it does, it is of the time, right? Because
yeah,
vlogging was really big back then. I mean, it still
yeah.
is, but it was really big, and who knew we would have like a YouTube to put all this content on and stuff like that? Because I mean, what year was this that you were making these early videos, man?
I think the first episode we did some like Coney Island stuff in 2018. That was really early.
Yeah.
And then what ended up happening was we did a couple of videos. I wanted to like fully produce them, have her host them. Uh my sister is an actress. She went to school for acting. She's acted in some of my stuff. Obviously, you
Hmm.
have your own sibling that can act. You're gonna stick her and stuff.
Yeah.
Then a couple years in, I was like, all right, I'm not feeling this. And if I don't feel something and I'm not enjoying something, it's not about likes, it's not about views. Obviously, you want people to view your content, but
Hmm.
if that's your focus,
Yeah, you're not gonna,
you're already you're messing up from the start. So I realized, okay, I'm not really into this. It's not what I want. I'm not having fun with it. Not that I wasn't having fun with her and putting the videos together.
mhm,
Just between her and I, there was something missing. It wasn't really working. Took a little break. I worked on some other projects because again, I mentioned I have a filmmaking background, so that's just
yes.
something that's always happening as well. Um, and pandemic happened.
Oh yeah, to everybody.
Everyone was on YouTube and trying to do their thing and trying to do this, that, and the third. And I knew a lot of friends that had shows, and
Hmm.
some popular, some not so popular. Some people did it for 5 months and gave up, and what goes with the territory.
Yep.
I had a friend of mine, Dave, who him and I have a
Mhm.
lot in common when it comes to nostalgia and Halloween and the way we sort of view the holiday, kind of music we like, kind of movies we like. We don't agree on everything, but similar flavor in what we
Yeah.
enjoy. And I said, hey, man, would you like to start a show with me? I want to start a show. I want to start a podcast. I really love Haunted Hangover as a brand. I want to continue doing this show. He's a composer, so that iconic kind of haunted hangover music you hear in the beginning, that's
Yeah.
Dave's music.
Okay.
And
So,
yeah. Mhm.
can I ask Louis, like, what were you listening to at the time? As far as, were you inspired by any podcasts, or were you fans of any kind of certain kind of podcasts at the time?
Yeah, so it's weird. I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. Like, I don't listen to too many. I'm not one of those guys that listens to like a catalog of 20 podcasts. Here's another funny thing. I don't really listen to horror or Halloween podcast.
No way.
Yeah, I don't really listen to many. Every now and then I'll listen to like an interview with a filmmaker I like or
Uh,
something, but I don't really listen to Halloween podcasts, which I know sounds like an oxymoron. It doesn't make any
no,
sense.
no,
Yeah,
dude, I can understand, because it's like maybe you don't want to replicate what someone else is doing, and the best way to do that is
yeah.
just to, I mean, stay away from it all, right?
I mean, I do dip my toes, so I know what's
Mhm.
going on in the world of horror because I'm a big horror fan first and
Oh
foremost. You
yes,
mentioned my inspiration. I'll get to that too in a second.
yes, sir.
But yeah, so as far as what I listen to, like the past couple years, I'm a wrestling fan too. Funny enough, I'm a big like I've been watching wrestling my whole life as long as I've loved Halloween and horror
No, no.
movies.
I've seen
Um,
that AEW belt on your shoulder, and I'll have some mentions about that later.
I love both companies. I'm not swinging either way. I'm just a wrestling fan, so
Yeah,
I love it all. I like New Japan wrestling. I like
yeah.
independent wrestling. So I listen to mostly predominantly one or two wrestling shows, and I listen to a lot of music mostly. Since also I'm a New Yorker. I
Yeah.
grew up listening to Howard Stern and stuff like that. So as a kid in like the mid to late 90s, my mom would have it on in the car. I didn't understand half of the crazy stuff he was saying
Yeah.
when I was younger, but that obviously was always like I just thought it was interesting that he could just have a conversation with someone for 3
Yeah.
hours and talk
No, that
nonsense and make funny
that,
stuff. So
even that, Private Parts movie that he made,
awesome.
it was awesome, man. Like, I loved that movie growing up, and it got me into radio. I was into stuff like I was into a show like Frasier, just because, like, he was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
talking on the radio, right? And stuff like
Talk
that.
radio.
I think if you were into sports at all, people probably listened to Jim Rome back then. But this is
Like
like
it's funny
kind
you
of
say that.
pre-podcast.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Growing up, off air before we started, we were talking a little
Mhm.
bit about sports,
Yeah,
and I mentioned that I mostly like grew up. I grew up a baseball fan, a Mets fan because I'm from New York, and my
yeah,
father, he's a big Mets fan. So growing up, I would hear him listening to Mike and the Mad Dog out here. That was a
yeah, yeah,
radio. That was a radio station that would just be a Mets talk. So you never know. That might have been. I have nostalgic memories of hearing that whenever I was in his car.
mhm.
So it's yeah, it does. I guess maybe that even influenced just like talking nonsense
Yeah,
in
'cause
audio
it
format.
yeah, I
Mhm,
mean, we talk about music, right? I
mhm.
love that your podcast goes into music
Oh, of
and
course.
Halloween songs, because, I don't know if I did already, but I have a Spotify playlist just for the Halloween season, and it
You
doesn't
gotta.
start in the Halloween season. No, like, my daughter is the only one crazy about it with me now, but
Mhm.
we'll throw it on in July, man. Just like we're halfway to Halloween. My
Yeah.
birthday's at the end of May, and that always
Okay.
feels like it's around that time that we start getting that spooky. It's coming, right? Like, we're
Yeah.
halfway there. The conventions start, for people that are into haunters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, talk about your early Halloweens, man. Like, what kind of, like I said, the inspirations for you.
So for me, Halloween's always sort of been it's interesting. So like I'm since I was a kid, and for most people, I think, especially like Halloween community on social media,
Hmm.
influencers, whatever.
Oh,
A
it's
lot of
huge
them,
now. It's
yeah, it's
huge.
huge, and I'll get into that in a second too if you want. Um, so for me, it's always been more just I feel like Halloween is a personal thing.
Yes.
So the way the world views the way the world view, and this is going to sound super pretentious, so my bad, but the
No,
way the
no, no, no.
world views
Shoot it.
Halloween and the way a person will view Halloween for themselves differentiates between it person to person, in my opinion.
Mhm,
So, for example, the way I always saw Halloween was a very kind of personal, family oriented thing, and
mhm.
friends, obviously. I've loved it since I was a kid. through high school. Every Halloween I dressed up, even when I was 15 and 16. You know, some kids have that like too cool for school phase. I'm not gonna dress up for
Mm-mm.
Halloween. I would still wear a mask and a costume
Yeah.
and would still go to school. Um, and into my adulthood, I don't think there's been a Halloween I missed where I didn't celebrate in some way. I carve a pumpkin.
Hmm.
I do something. And you know, as I've gotten older and where I'm at in life now, Haunted Hangover is such a big part of my life. And we tend to, you know, obviously Halloween is a big part of it.
Yes.
It's even more so now, kind of like something I'm doing and something that's a part of my life. So like this month right now, it's October. It's an insane month for me in general because of the show, because of the brand, because of my life, my personal life. There's a lot of birthdays and anniversaries this month. So like for me, Halloween has always just been a big part of my life. I'm very nostalgic for certain things. And there's a lot of stuff that, you know, happens with Halloween now that I don't like. And I think it's kind
Hmm.
of corny or kind of just oversaturated. So I just think I like to hone it down to sort of personal experiences with the holiday, whether it's a night where you carved a pumpkin with a loved one and then watched Halloween 4 or
Yeah.
put up
Oh,
decorations with
dude.
your kids or, you know, like
Oh.
something like that. So for me, it just depends on what you want. And even like as a fan of like wrestling, I love the old Halloween Havoc
Hmm.
pay-per-view from WCW.
Oh, I'd kill to
That's
have
our
that
logo.
pumpkin in my driveway right now.
Yeah.
If
Our logo is a parody, which I've had people comment, like obvious comments about, like, "Oh,
Havoc,
you're ripping off." I'm like, "No, dude, it's a parody of the." Obviously, if you've
I'm a
listened to
fan.
the show, I'm a
Yeah.
wrestling fan. I'm parodying the old Halloween Havoc logo with Haunted Hangover. So,
Yes.
yeah, Halloween
The
fans are
wrestling
still a good
horror
time.
gimmick episode you did,
We've
big
done a
fan of.
couple of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, we reviewed a couple of Halloween Havoc episodes because again, the Haunted Hangover is like a big ball of just all the things I love
Hmm.
and talk about. It's
Yes.
very personal. So like we'll talk about movies, horror movies because I love horror movies. We'll talk about Halloween stuff because I love Halloween stuff. We'll talk about old Halloween shows. We'll talk about Halloween music. We'll talk about Halloween wrestling. So like
Dude.
it's everything I love mashed up into a ball. And that's
Yeah.
it.
And I don't mean to be so, I'd say like fangirl over it, but it seems like you're speaking to me in the podcast because it's like I do this, I get this, spooky feeling. I mean, it stays year round, but
Yeah.
Halloween comes around. I like to watch the Halloween episodes coming out.
Yeah.
Um, every little food item that comes out that's Halloween related. I mean, of course, you got to get the cereal, but the spooky
Yeah.
candies and stuff that come out, I like to get my daughter as soon as they come out. Like, if they're in the stores in August, I'm buying them. Um, now, you're right about the oversaturation on stuff,
Mhm.
like, especially a lot of the decorations that can be kind of played out already, but I'm always on the lookout for new things. I For the life of me, I don't know why there was this trend of going to pinks and purples this year for
It's
Halloween.
terrible.
I'm dude, please,
Yeah, it's
I'm
horrible.
thank you. I knew I
Yeah,
wasn't the
yeah.
only one, but me and my wife saw that and we're like, what are they doing?
They've been doing
Um,
that for, like, the last 2 or 3 years. You go to Michael's, and they have a bunch of pink and turquoise
yes.
and weird I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't relate to a lot of the Halloween influencers.
Hmm.
I'm more like a tattered up old, like,
Old
cutout
school.
of a beastle and, like, a pumpkin and, like, really kind of simple nothing to me beats a simple house, and I'll see it in my
Hmm.
neighborhood where they have a couple of decorations that you can tell they've been holding on to for 15 years, and they're
Oh
putting in front of their
yes.
house. So to me, that's Halloween. That's
Yeah.
more Halloween than, like, having 50 and I don't knock them all because I do like some of them. The inflatable
Hmm. Hmm.
decorations. I do like some of them. I know there's Halloween people that hate them, and there's people that
Yeah.
love them. I think some are cool, some are kind like if you have a big duck with a pumpkin, that's kind of weird. But if you have a big
Yeah.
monster, I get it. Or the big like the walkway. I kind of dig those. Those are
Yeah.
kind of cool. So there's certain there's certain contemporary Halloween decorations I do like, and then there's a lot I don't. And then there again, nothing beats holding on to an old, like beat up. Like I have so many Halloween decorations like that I just keep for the show and for other things. And I think like over time, I've used them in different projects. They start to crease, they start to get a little beat up. And that's kind of
That's
the
good though.
that makes them more special when you hang them up and stuff. Just
Yes.
my opinion. I
Yeah.
have a very kind of skewed perspective on what I think Halloween should be
No, I've got
compared
a
to
couple of backgrounds,
yeah,
and they're usually horror movie posters all through here.
yeah.
But for the Halloween season, the wife lets me display those in our living room.
Oh,
So
nice.
so they
Nice.
get moved out there. We start decorating pretty early. I'm like you, we had a lot of birthdays around the Halloween time, especially her mother's that passed. And we used to have a Halloween party every year. Uh
Mm,
mandatory dress up. One of the reasons why I knew, this is going to be the girl I'm going to marry is I believe when we were 18, we dressed up together because we didn't get to when we were 17. When we were 17, and that's when on Halloween is when we got together. But I was playing football at the time, and we didn't get to go trick or treating. So at 18, we have a picture of us out there trick or treating together, man, and it's always been a special time. I always saw it as it's a time where everyone, mostly everybody, is able to do Halloween. Not everyone does Christmas, not everyone does Thanksgiving, but mostly everyone participates with Halloween.
for the most part, yeah. You find the occasional person that thinks it's evil or horrible or something like that, but we'll ignore those people because they're silly. They think that. I disagree with that heavily. But yeah, man, that's a really sweet story. That's Halloween brought you guys together and sort of is the seed that
Yeah,
planted
yeah,
your life together, your marriage, kids, etc. So that's cool, man.
yeah,
That warms my heart. There's something romantic about Halloween. People kind of don't kind of sleep on that, you know?
dude. Like, I mean, it could be that we're in our 40s now, but
Mhm.
there is nothing better than on these. Well, I'm not gonna say cool because we're in Texas,
Okay.
and cool doesn't start being a thing until maybe late November and December. But to spend an evening together watching Halloween movies, or like I said, I'm a big fan of Halloween episodes. Now, I used to like when it had to be appointment viewing, and you had to either set your DVR to record these at a certain time. But I do kind of like that the apps have bunched together all the Halloween episodes nowadays.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Are you okay with that?
I think I think there was a show, one episode of my show we were talking about something, I forget. And when I was 6, 5, 6, you'd watch Treehouse of Horror, or you'd watch Roseanne Halloween special, or you'd watch any of these shows or a movie.
Hmm, hmm.
I'm a big fan of old anthology television, Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, Monsters. I've talked about all this stuff on my show too.
Yeah, Freddy's
Um,
Nightmares.
Freddy's Nightmares is awesome. Yeah,
It's on
we haven't.
Tubi. It's
I know
on Tubi now.
they just put it back up. I know.
Yeah,
I remember as a kid when a show would end, and even stuff like Pee Wee's Playhouse and the Real Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles and stuff. I remember
it was
just
gone.
yeah, I remember feeling so empty when the show ended because I
Yeah.
couldn't watch like more of it. It was like
Yes.
the
Yes. Yes.
saddest to like see the credits roll on Pee Wee's Playhouse would bum me out because I wanted like hours of Pee Wee's Playhouse. So
Yeah.
I do understand the like appointment viewing when you're a kid,
Yeah.
and we had to deal with it when we were young. But it is kind of cool that now as adults we can watch Freddy's Nightmares for
When?
like 20 hours if we really want to, back to back. Like I remember I was like, wow, if little Louie only knew that he could watch Pee-wee's Playhouse or literally watch every single Treehouse of Horror episode on The Simpsons back to back
Yeah.
without blinking an eye. I mean, I would have
I'd go
been in
nuts,
heaven.
dude. I'd go nuts
Yeah.
if you told me I just had like maybe Pluto available to me now.
Yeah.
I'd go crazy. Like
Yes.
I used to be that kid that on Sunday I'd get the newspaper, pull out the TV guide, the actual TV, the local TV guide,
Mhm.
because I too was a big fan of. We had a channel 35 here in San Antonio that had the creature features on there,
Nice.
and it started off with cartoons in the morning, but it'd go to Godzilla and everything during the day, and then right around midnight to 3 a.m. there'd be scary movies. And again, it wasn't, I didn't always stay up to 3 a.m., but every once in a while, there was one of those ones like, oh, they're showing Dracula. I got to watch that. Or something like that, that I'd be able to catch those old scary movies on. So, man, if you told me I had this stuff at my fingertips now, I'd go crazy. But I probably wouldn't have done much as a kid.
Yeah, no, I was the same way, man. Like again, I meant this goes back to wrestling. I remember watching WCW as a kid,
Yeah.
and I learned about Monster. Like Joe Bob is back, and he's been back for the last, I don't know, 7 years or so on Shudder. But I remember
But
Joe Bob
yeah.
hosted Monster Vision on TNT, and since I was a wrestling fan, I'd watch WCW, and I'd see advertisements for Monster Vision. I remember being, I don't know, 7 or 8, and being like, oh, he's playing whatever, the Creep Show
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever. And I'd go and watch. I'd be like, oh, 8 o'clock Friday or Saturday at 8 o'clock. And I'd go make sure turn the TV on if I'm at my mom's, if I'm home or with my grandma or at my grandma's
Yeah.
house, wherever I was at, put that channel on and watch whatever movie. And then the same goes for out here in New York. We had WPIX channel 11, and
Okay.
growing
Okay.
up, they'd play, in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, they'd play a lot of movies. They'd have like Shocktober, which they'd play all horror movies in October. And that's like the first time I saw Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, and Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and stuff like that. The Exorcist, The
Yeah.
Shining. That's where I saw a lot of these movies at a really young age, because my grandma didn't care.
Yeah.
My
No.
grandmother didn't, she would, and a lot of times, a lot of these movies were censored. So like the nudity was kind of cut out,
Yeah, you didn't
you
see that
know?
stuff until you saw it, the DVD
Yeah.
later on, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, they showed that?"
Yeah. And it's funny, my grandmother, she was, Puerto Rican lady from the
Uh,
Bronx. She didn't know, she knew English was her second language. So growing up, I'd see some of these movies on the Spanish channel dubbed,
yeah,
and I'd still be enthralled by it. Like, I'd be like, oh my, what is this? Friday the 13th. I think I saw Friday the 13th 3
in
with
Spanish.
my grandma in Spanish. And my Spanish was never great. Like, I
No,
talk broken Spanish to her. And I just remember being like, what is this movie? I'm like 4 years old watching with
hey,
her, watching Friday the 13th. Yeah.
it translates, man. It
Yeah.
translates.
I just remember, watching that with her and being so focused on it, even though I was like, all right, there's a bunch of pretty girls with a
Yeah,
guy with a hockey mask killing them. This is scary. I'm terrified. But when are they going to defeat him? How is he going to go away? What's going to happen? So I'd
yeah.
watch it with her, and I'd just be like, she'd be like covering my eyes, and like it was just, those are memories that kind of molded me as a person. And that also goes along with
Yeah,
Halloween, just kind of like how Halloween, around that time of the year, she would, her, my mother, those were the two really kind of influential people on me when it comes to the holiday, and why I love all this shit and why
no, dude.
I'm the way I
Yeah,
am. Yeah.
I say it. A lot of us people that are into horror now, we grew up watching stuff that we probably shouldn't have watched as
Mm-hmm.
kids. Um, I was a big. My family was big on the VCRs, right?
Oh,
Like I
same.
remember my mom and dad renting a VCR when you could do that
Oh,
back
wow.
in the day. Yeah, you'd get a big old suitcase kind of deal, and uh,
I think I remember that when DVD players were first made. I
no
remember that.
way.
I think they did that. I think Blockbuster did that with
Yeah,
when DVDs, because I remember when DVDs first came out in like
it was a big deal.
2000, and everyone was
Yeah,
like, "What is this? A CD? We
yeah.
watch a movie on this?" And I remember being like, I remember my mom buying the first DVD, because I grew up
No.
with VCRs, but I remember my mom bought the first DVD player, and I think
Yeah.
she might have rented one from Blockbuster the first time, then bought one. So it's
Yeah.
funny you mentioned
No,
that.
dude, my buddy bought The Matrix on DVD before he even had a DVD player. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
He owned the DVD before even being able to play it at home. I mean, I was buying
Um
VHS tapes when I was like 12,
yeah.
I remember. I would get them used at the video store and for like $9.99, especially when I was in junior high. I'd save up any couple dollars I had. And I remember one of the first, I think, VHS tapes I bought was a Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah.
and Halloween because,
Ooh,
for obvious reasons. I was
yeah.
really young. I think I was, I don't know, like, yeah, between
Oh,
10
dude,
and 12.
for
Yeah.
Nightmare 2, yeah, that one's got some overtones on it that
That's yeah, but
pretty
like that,
wild.
and I noticed those overtones. So I was about 19, 20 years old. I was always like, there's something off about this movie.
Yeah,
And then I realized many years later, I get
yeah.
it. So
It's always when I watch those, I kind of skip that one in the canon, man.
really,
Yeah,
I
I
love part
go
two. I
1 to
love all
3,
of them.
man. 3 is probably my favorite. But
Three is the
yeah,
best one.
earlier you hit a nerve when you said Halloween 4 because I don't know why more people don't think that one's like one of the better ones. I love Halloween 4. It's got the best tone, especially early on in the movie.
I watched it last night. Had it
Dude,
on. So
I love it.
um, I watched those movies on repeat since September. I've had them on in the background. I put them on when I'm editing and stuff, and they're on AMC
Yeah.
24/7. Um, yeah, I'm one of those guys. I'm kind of bad to talk about when it comes to like big franchise, like horror franchises like Halloween and Nightmare on Elm
Mhm.
Street, Friday the 13th, even Texas Chainsaw, Scream. I'll watch all of them. I don't have a problem with any of them. Like they're all,
Mhm.
even the bad ones are entertaining. We have a
Yes,
joke
yes.
on the show about Buster Rhymes, about
Yeah, oh, yes, yes, yes.
how terrible. Like, yeah, he's horrible in that
Trick or
movie, but
treat,
that's
motherfucker.
yes, but that's what's so entertaining about Halloween
It is.
Resurrection is that he is like, who thought? And then you got to think about it. It was like 2004 or whatever, 2006.
He wasn't
Like,
even big at the time, was he?
yeah, man, Buster Rhymes in the late 90s, kind of Dangerous and all that was
Yeah,
really
but
huge, man. But
2006 though?
I mean, yeah, he had, past the Cavassier and all that stuff.
Ah,
Like
okay,
in
okay.
but yeah, I mean, like Busta's always been around. But the funny
Yeah,
thing is, like, what producer? And then you got to think about Halloween H2O had LL Cool J in it, so they wanted to have a hip hop artist in it. They wanted to relate to like the more urban environments and have Black and Latinos go to the movie theaters to see these
yeah.
movies. But I just think it's funny that a producer was like, you know who we're gonna get? Busta Rhymes, who can't
Like,
act.
what's that table pitch like, right?
Yeah, like at least get a rapper who can act a little bit. Like LL Cool J wasn't bad
Yeah,
in
DMX wasn't
H2O.
bad in Belly.
DMX wasn't
Method
bad.
Man is I mean, he's one of my favorite
Oh,
rappers.
Method Man's the
So
best.
yeah, but
Yes.
he's a great actor.
Yeah, he was great. I guess they couldn't afford him. Maybe
Yeah.
because it's just I have no idea. But
Yeah,
yeah, like
just did Belly and he's like, yeah,
yeah.
I'm too much for that.
I mean, dude, like I just was like, what was the like thought process? Like, we're gonna get Busta Rhymes to do kung fu and fight Michael Myers. So, like,
And
that's what I find so entertaining. I know people hate that movie, but
yeah.
like, there's merit to it. There's some stuff I dig. I like the found footage aspect of it. I like how Busta Rhymes feels like he's in an entirely different movie. I feel the same way about the Rob Zombie ones. There's stuff about it I do like. So,
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street, I like all of them. In
Mhm.
reality, I grew up watching all of these movies, and some of the later
Yes.
ones I went to go see them in the theater. So, like,
Mhm.
none of them to me are bad. Some of them are stupid movies,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
they're
no.
not. They're
Yeah,
entertaining. You
yes.
know,
Like, I always get shit because I like Jason X. Like,
I like Jason
fucking,
X.
you know, people can hate me all they want, but there's something about Jason X that I just fucking love, and it's in my Halloween canon. So, it's one of the movies that I will watch before what was it, next Friday?
Yeah, like look, man, I love Rob Zombie's Halloween too. I know I think the movie's coming around now. Some people are enjoying it a little more years later, but I remember going to see it in the theater in
Yeah.
2009, I believe, with some friends. And I left and I was like, because I listen to so much music, and I just remember being like, oh, we've got like a little hipster, like she's into hardcore music, Laurie
Yeah.
Strode. Like I
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
a
yeah.
punk Laurie Strode. I thought that was kind
Yeah,
of
she's
cool.
not just a clean cut Lori, yeah.
Yeah, with dreads and stuff. And like I thought that was cool. She has like post-traumatic stress over what happened to her in the front. Like there was stuff about I
Who
love
wouldn't? Yeah.
the Halloween vibes in that movie
Yeah.
are fantastic. Like just the Halloween atmosphere, the Halloween party at the end is on point. So people are like, that movie sucks. I'm like, well, there's a lot about it I like. So,
Yeah.
I like it more than Halloween Resurrection, but I still like Halloween Resurrection.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah,
know,
it's the same thing, I loved House of a Thousand Corpses when it came out. Now, what I expected? I don't think so, but it was great, man. Like
yeah.
to this day, man. I mean, his song. I don't know if I've heard that song come up though
Mm.
in you guys' music playlist, but the House of a Thousand Corpses song. I mean, please give it another listen because it's a
Yeah.
great song. I love that song.
We try to go a little more deep cut with our Halloween mixtape episodes. We tend to
Mhm.
kind of pick weird shit sometimes.
I
I mean,
mean,
I grew up a big, yeah, I grew up a big
y'all don't
White
have the
Zombie
Monster
fan.
Squad rap on
No,
there.
not
I don't
yet.
know
No.
how that's not on there. Like that's
We
like
try
the
to get stuff
best
that's not
Halloween song
very
ever.
we try to get stuff that's not very obvious when we do those episodes. We kind of get like weird
Yeah.
choices. So I mean, maybe one day, you never know. It'll pop up on there one episode. I'll do it just for you. We'll
Thank you,
put
thank you.
one of
Hey,
them
well,
on there.
let me on that episode,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. I'll shout you out and get you on the show in that. I'll definitely get you on the show in the future for sure. So
Um, but no, it's you know, especially with the Halloween music. But one of the things I do like about y'all show is that y'all don't just go to the obvious movie.
mhm.
You do a bit of the obscure. We didn't just do brand new movies that were coming out. We're children of the '80s, so we tend to stick in that realm. We've done the Elvira. We did early Roseanne episodes. Of course, Monster Squad. Another favorite of ours, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That
Great.
a lot of these cult movies that have found bigger followings. So tell me, what are some of your favorite Halloween movies or horror movies? And
I'm
I know that's a big general question, so
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
you can break that down or elaborate as much as you want.
I mean, I love the classics like everybody else. I love all the Halloween movies. I love Trick or Treat, like with Sam. There's two versions of Trick or Treat. As far as like Halloween themed films, if you want more like obscure ones that actually not obscure, but like the other day I watched The Guest, which came out in 2014.
Hmm.
I'm a huge fan of that movie. I think that movie is a very unique take on Halloween. It's not it's in a it's I think it's in Arizona. It takes place, I think,
Yeah,
if I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
correctly. That's a really not obscure, but that's one that came out
But
more
it's not
recent.
general, New
No,
York, LA,
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I know there is an audience, there's a demographic of people that do love that movie, but like I watch that every Halloween season.
Okay.
Um, I'm a big fan of there's this movie I recently actually brought it up on the show and watched it in the last month or two called The Hollow that came out in 2004, I believe, which was like a made for TV movie about the headless horseman attacking a bunch of high school students and there's a hayride and he
No
goes
way.
after them. Yeah, and I think that's a nice deep cut Halloween themed film. Flesh Eater is another big one I'm a fan of that came out, I think, it was either 80, it was like the late 80s, I believe. And that follows the zombie from the original Night of the Living Dead
No
going
way.
after a group of kids that are starting a haunted hayride as well. So, like,
Okay,
that's
okay.
funny. Two haunted hayride movies back to back. Flesh Eater
Wow.
came out, I think it was 88 or 89, around that time it came out.
It's
That's
like
another
when
really like what? Huh?
it's like when Deep Impact and
Yeah,
that other movie came out at the same time.
Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, well, no, these are very different. These came out,
Yeah,
one was
yeah.
'04, one was like 88, 89. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
yeah, Flesh Eater is another one I feel has like really great Halloween vibes, just overall kind of the way it makes you feel. The
I
WNUF Halloween special, those are super
Yes.
popular. I've been a champion of those movies. Well, that specific first one for a long time. I've that guy made I gotta get him on my show one day.
Yeah.
Um,
What did
we
you
have some
think of
mutual friends. Hmm?
Late Night with the Devil? Another I
I
think
dug
that's
it.
a Shutter
Shutter, yeah,
original.
yeah. I
Yeah.
went to the theaters to see that. I haven't watched it this Halloween season, but it definitely makes for a great Halloween watch.
Yeah.
If you want
I
my
love the
honest
old feel
opinion,
to it. Yeah.
I think WNUF did it better. It's a little
Yes.
more
Yes. Yes. Yes.
authentic. It's a little more authentic, and I feel like the atmosphere and kind of that lo-fi quality makes WNUF Halloween special feel a little more like the holiday because Late Night with the Devil, great movie, is a very
Mhm.
clean looking film. Like it's very sharp. It's very, there's no, and it's in a studio, so it doesn't kind of have those like that Halloween autumn
Ah,
vibe to it, which is missing. But I still think it's a great movie. And what's his name? David Dalsmakian or whatever. He's the lead.
I
He's
really
great.
like him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's great. He's great in everything he's in. So
Yeah. Polka Dot Man and everything.
Yes,
I,
yes,
I
yes.
have I have other questions that I sent you, but I do want to pick your brain
I
on a
could
couple
answer
of
any
movies.
questions, man. You
All
hit
right,
me. I got an
tell me,
answer for you.
have you seen Wolf Creek? I mean, no. Is it Wolf Creek? No, not Wolf Creek. That's a
The
um.
Australian film.
Have you seen Exists?
I have. Oh, with the Bigfoot.
Yes.
I've seen it once, but it was a long time ago. I think when it came out initially. So that's one of those movies. I don't remember too much about it. I do have to revisit, and I do like Bigfoot stuff. So
I do too, and uh, I think the other movie is called Willow Creek.
mm.
Bobcat Goldthwait made it.
Oh, he's
It's
great.
a Bigfoot movie.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I mean, nothing Bobcat about it. But if you've never seen Willow Creek, I highly recommend. It is a fucked up movie.
and
And
it's
I
about
mean that.
Bigfoot. Bigfoot is
Yes.
involved. Okay, I'm
Yes,
gonna
it's
watch
about
that.
Bigfoot, and
Okay,
I mean it's fucked up in all the good ways, like
okay.
all the good sense. Like,
I'm gonna
please, if you,
add it in my letterbox when we're done here. I'm gonna
yeah,
watch it. Maybe I'll try to watch it in the next 2 weeks.
yeah, dude, please, and
Yeah.
I'd love your feedback on it. There's a certain scene in it, and you'll know it, but I'd love your feedback as soon as it's done.
I'm
Um,
gonna watch it. And I'll DM you and we'll talk
yeah,
about
same
Willow
thing with
Creek.
exists. Like exists. I'm one of these guys. Okay, like, family vacations, we take a little bit here or there. We'll go to the beach. We'll go camping. When we go camping, I'm putting on the Friday the 13th movies. I'm
Perfect.
putting on a movie like Exists, where Bigfoot, because Exists is supposed to be in Texas. So
Yeah,
when we go camping, it's out in Texas, and it's these random places. So putting on stuff like that.
I gotta watch Exist again. I remember liking it, and I remember I think I rented it because
Well,
that.
it's
Yeah.
what's good about it is it's a found footage movie,
Yes, yes, I
and
remember that.
it's the same maker that made the original Blair Witch Project.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
I
it
gotta. I is it a Eduardo Sanchez? Right? Is that
yes,
his? Yeah,
Eduardo
yeah.
Sanchez.
Eduardo Sanchez. Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, again,
I love
gotta
Blair
support
Witch.
Rasa. So you know,
Yes, exactly. I listen, man. I'm a huge found footage guy. I love found footage. I want to make a found footage film, so
yeah,
I'm working on that. Hopefully one day.
yeah.
So
No, speaking of your films,
yeah, yeah.
I watched a couple. I mean, everything looks great. Like the Eve one is. I think the you should be suing the people of Abigail
No,
because I think they took your movie.
no,
I
it's
mean,
all good, man.
it's a little different, but some people breaking in and then getting killed by the host. Oh, I'm sorry, I just spoiled
It's all
your
good.
film, but
It's a short film I made several
yeah.
years ago.
I get again, like I said, completist man. I go
Yeah.
back and try to watch everything. Now it's hard to, but I gotta ask you, like, is there favorite episodes that you have of the Haunted Hangover?
Of my show. So something that comes to like so
Or
trying to
big
think.
things that y'all have done that you can kind of talk about?
Some of my favorite episodes we've done. So I do love the mixtape episodes, the Halloween mixtape episodes we've
Mhm.
done. We just released our, for 2025. We released it late September. Um, I love putting those together just because, I always come up with my like really cheesy scenario, like what led to us creating I gotta like use my brain and come up with something silly. And I try to lean more in the silly because I don't take myself
Yeah.
that serious. And come up with different songs that we feel remind us of the Halloween season. And then something new I've been doing is we have it on Spotify, the list like for that year. And then we have an ongoing one that has all the years combined.
Mhm.
Is I've been mixing like the same songs with different clips free for on Patreon for like free members. Anyone, because I can't make money off of it because I'll get in trouble because I don't own these songs. So I make it
Oh, okay,
free
okay.
on Patreon. So if you join the Patreon, you get the special spooky edition of the playlist. So I've done that twice now, and it has like samples of from movies and commercials just to kind of give it more of an atmosphere. And I always put a bonus song that's not on the Spotify playlist, obviously. And it's usually something that you can't really find or something obscure. Um, those are probably some of my favorite episodes, just because it's always just fun coming up with like
Yeah.
different songs to pick and stuff. Um, the early years of Haunted Hangover, one of my favorite episodes, and it'll always be, and I know I have not listened back to it in many years because it was our very first episode when we talked about Halloween memories, our very
Yeah,
first
yeah.
one. I know I talked about, I think, my grandmother's Halloween party. That was very influential on me as a human. So those are kind of the two that come to mind, that I had a
Okay.
really good time doing. The Halloween junk food taste test episodes I've been doing with my boy Grimy the last couple of years are always a good
Yeah.
time.
Those are
We're
those
literally
seem fun, dude.
yeah, we're just there hanging out. Now we're doing live shows on top of pre-recorded, so it's kind of been like fun to kind of do that. But yeah, us just hanging out, talking nonsense, and
Yeah.
trying these like new items for that year. So that's been also really fun. I mean, listen, man, I have fun doing the show. Sometimes the post work can be a little stressful, and
Mhm.
I've learned throughout the years to kind of just like I don't have anything to prove. I've produced like 200 and something episodes of this show,
Yeah.
and now I started taking the video aspect more serious the last 2 or 3 years. um so like I've got nothing to prove. I just love doing the show. So like
Dude, you can
I
tell you guys
yeah,
are having fun, dude. Like, and
yeah,
that's the most important thing, because I even when people, they ask me, well, who are you doing the show for? I do it for myself,
that's the
really.
first audience
you know,
member, man.
yeah,
Yeah. No one I know is like, again, I don't listen to many Halloween podcasts. I don't listen to many horror podcasts. The nostalgia community I know is very big with
hmm
Halloween and horror. Uh, but I just feel like I always wanted to make a show that was like me and my people just hanging out, talking nonsense about things we find interesting, whether it's a
yeah, they,
Halloween short. It doesn't matter what it is, and just our own personalities. When you first start doing this journey, doing this, you're real stiff and you're kind of like you want to be perfect, but then you just
hmm
learn to just be like, you know what? It doesn't matter. We're having fun. We're having a good
yes,
time.
yes,
If you
yes.
mispronounce something or you say something wrong or the wrong information, who gives a shit? A troll maybe that might leave a comment.
No, dude, yeah,
That stuff
I
never bothers me. So
yeah, no,
yeah,
dude, that's the great thing, because I want to say early on, I was nervous about even, asking you if you would do the show, and then, well, okay, what am I gonna say and stuff like that. But not ever been very encouraging. I think some of the best podcasts though are the ones that do feel like you're just sitting around with friends, hanging out, talking. And I should say, it's the first time we met, but I do feel, I mean, you give it off very quickly. It's like very friendly, it's easy to talk to and stuff like that. So I appreciate it, man. Makes
yeah.
me feel a lot less nervous. So
Nah, man, I'm just
thank you,
some
man.
guy. Listen, man, I'm a dude that likes Halloween and horror movies. I'm a nerdy guy. I'm from New York.
Dude
Yeah, I
playing
mean,
another dude.
yeah,
Dude.
exactly. I, maybe in person I'm more
Yeah.
intimidating. I don't know. Maybe I look a little meaner in person, but I don't know. I've been told that
It's
once or twice, but no, I'm down to earth, man. I'm not.
you
I'm
gotta
I'm
be in
still
Queens,
figuring
right?
this out, dude. I'm
Right?
doing this, but I'm still figuring. You're always growing. You're always evolving, and even I've only done other people's shows a handful of times, and it's always fun to kind of meet
Yeah.
cool, down to earth people that don't have a big head. I mean, there's nothing
Yeah.
to be have a big head about because
Taking
in
it too
reality,
seriously, you
yeah,
know.
we're just talking about fucking monsters and
Yeah.
and like
No,
hot
I
pumpkins. I'm not,
I did a friend's podcast one time, and I was there to have a good time and have fun. And
yeah.
this dude wanted to be Joe Rogan
Oh
and
nah,
talk politics and stuff
nah.
like that. I'm like, just like, no,
If
I'm
that's
good.
your show, don't bring me on as a
Yeah,
guest because
no,
I'm the
no,
last person. I take life is to be enjoyed. I do not take
yeah.
anything too serious because
Uh,
it's nah,
hey,
no,
dude. I
that's not
mean,
me.
we've been friends a short time, but you saw last night and the night before, like, I had some good nights.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
all the time that I'm getting out there, but went to a Spurs game Friday night,
That's awesome.
Saturday night. Went to go see a couple of cover bands here, or tribute bands. I'm sorry, they I think they get upset if we call them cover
Yeah.
bands.
Yeah, tribute bands.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, that's how it is. You gotta enjoy, man. You gotta enjoy everything you do. When you mentioned my filmmaking, I don't take I take that serious to an extent. I try to make It's hard. That's even harder than podcasting. So like for
I
me,
bet.
yeah, I made a feature film. I wrote a feature film that got made when I was 26. Like I've been in the game a long time doing that.
Yeah.
That's also something I just love. I'm always working on, I try to get hired as a director here and there, make a little extra money, an editor, because I'm a director editor. And I write, I write my own
Mhm.
stuff mostly. So a lot of my own screenplays I write. When I'm directing them, I want them to be like my thing fully. Um, it's
Yeah.
always evolving, always changing too. It's constant. Those are like my two loves,
Yeah.
basically, is the show and is Haunted Hangover and
Your filmmaking.
my filmmaking, my
Yeah.
attempted filmmaker career.
Hey, I mean, I don't know many, but
Yeah.
I've heard of other podcasts up there looking for filmmakers, man. So it's
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
to be able to say, "Hey, I know somebody up there."
Listen, man, I've directed, I don't know, like 15, 16,
Yeah.
17 short films. I directed a feature. I wrote another feature that got made. I've just, yeah, it's, you make a lot of garbage
Mhm,
and
mhm.
then, you eventually make one or two decent short films and then you continue to make, you just grow, man.
Yeah.
I feel like you never become, filmmakers become good filmmakers when they make a lot of mistakes. And
Hey,
I think podcasting is the same way.
in life in general, man.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
you learn from the mistakes you make. Hopefully, you learn from the mistakes you make.
Hopefully,
But
you gotta grow, just
hey,
like the
I
show,
gotta,
like
yeah,
doing this.
yes, yes. I got a 21 and an 18-year-old, man. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, I'm
uh,
sure that's
yeah,
probably driving you crazy from time to
uh,
time.
yeah, both boys, man, and my 11-year-old daughter, she's my sweetheart. So,
Oh, she's still the
um,
baby. She's the
yeah.
baby.
Now she's the one that this next topic I want to talk about.
Okay.
She's the one that does it with me. Like she's like, Dad, let's watch Halloween commercials. And so we'll sit there on YouTube. And that's the great thing now is YouTube has all these compilations. But uh you've done 5 Halloween commercial episodes.
Mhm.
I hate to be the counter
It's
for you.
on. There's nothing. You got a better. You can keep in better track than I am.
Yeah. You're 214 episodes in, just in case you didn't know.
Dude, I gotta go back and like look sometimes and be like, how many? Like, sometimes I have to go back and listen to my own
Yeah.
show to make sure we didn't cover the
Dude,
same. Like,
yeah. Don't ask me how many episodes I have of my show, but I know you have 214.
and
I'm
then,
pretty good with the research, but
well, thank you, thank you. You're better than
5
me, man.
Halloween commercial
Mhm.
episodes. Give me some of your favorite Halloween commercials.
Favorite Halloween commercial. So I know one off the top of my head is the Dunkin' Donuts donut commercial where the Dunkin' Donuts man, what was his name?
Time to
With the
make the
mustache? The
donuts.
time to make the donuts man, I think is his
Yeah,
name.
that's his name.
Yeah. He's making donuts, and then
Yeah,
like you think monsters are walking down the block to go to the Dunkin' Donuts, and then it's a bunch of trick-or-treaters dressed up as Frankenstein, a Dracula, werewolf,
yeah,
mummy,
yeah,
whatever. That's one of my favorite commercials. That one always warms my heart, and I remember seeing that on TV as a kid.
yeah.
Another one, even though I've talked a lot of shit on the show about this event, there's a specific Six Flags Fright Fest commercial. I know I've talked about it on the show,
Yeah,
where they promote the event and there's like a zombie in a graveyard and he
uh-huh.
like screams at the camera. And I think that year they had a hayride out here. So it was like, try the hayride to the unknown. And like, that's one of my favorite commercials. There's so many.
Yeah,
Elvira, like in front of the Psycho
yeah.
house, slinging root
Okay,
beer.
okay. Yeah,
Uh,
that was weird. Like she did the Psycho House. She did like 2 Psycho House commercials, right? Because one was
yeah.
for Mountain Dew and Pepsi, and then one was for Coors. They were both at the Psycho House.
Yeah, she was really universal, I guess, because she's a
Yeah,
California based, so I
she had a
guess.
contract.
Yeah, I mean Coors Light, I remember that vividly. I'm a big old obviously I think if you love Halloween and horror, if you don't like Elvira, something's wrong with
Yeah,
you. Like,
yeah,
so obviously anything with her in it, I'm a sucker for. Like I read her book 3 times. Like I thought it was a great book. I listened to the audio book and read it.
yeah. We
So
covered Mistress of the Dark
it's a
on
great
our
movie.
episodes. Yeah.
Great movie. For my first crush, man, was Cassandra Peterson as Elvira. I was like 7 years old.
You
I
saw
wouldn't know what to do
her
with that.
yeah. All I knew was that my dad liked her. So I was like,
Yeah.
now I know why, but yeah.
Even as a little boy, I was just like, "Oh, Elvira." I don't know what it was. It was like,
I was always into the horror host aspect though.
yeah, yeah. See,
Whether it
same.
was Elvira, but um one of the great things that's missing nowadays is locally you had those people, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Local channels, like you said, WPIX, but the local channels would have someone that would dress up and be in it as well, So, things like that of that nature.
Yeah, like I said, I love horror hosts. I watched Joe Bob last drive-in now. I grew up watching Monster Vision. You know, when I watched Elvira, she was already kind of like a big deal. So I just knew her as
Yeah,
a character from the movie. I think I might have caught a couple of Movie Macabre episodes of reruns, possibly on like Channel 9 out here in New York. Um, and I watched Svengoolie later in life, like
yeah,
he's on now, and I like it. But yeah, there's not a lot. And I consider them horror hosts. I know maybe people will disagree because they're riffing on the movies, but like Mystery Science Theater 3000, I was a huge fan of that.
yeah, yeah,
When I would air
yeah.
on the Sci-Fi
Especially
Channel.
the first go round of that, like I
Oh,
thought it was
so
great.
good. Still to this day, there's like a channel that airs it on one of the things they have. One of the streaming services has like a 24-hour Mystery Science Theater 3000
Hmm.
channel, and every they do their Turkey Day marathon. I'm a huge Mystery
Yeah.
Science Theater 3000 fan, so
No,
that's
same, dude.
that's
Same.
also been like an inspiration for me, kind of making fun of the stuff. I can
Oh,
make fun of the stuff I like. Like that's
no.
kind of the whole point, you know?
A lot of, especially our early Now Watch This episodes with us were watch along episodes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, you had that aspect going on this past Friday, and so I'm definitely gonna see if I can get you on to just watch a movie with me and us make stupid comments.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so that whole thing is that's so I've got my boy Howard.
Uh
He's a
huh.
part of the Haunted Hangover crew. Howard's been like our host along with my sister Sam, more so when she was living in New York. Still, she no longer lives in New York. She's in
Hmm.
Texas, funny enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and he was, he kind of became the host of our Halloween specials that I put together, I think three fully produced. I had guest people
Yes.
send me segments and stuff like that. I've always loved horror host. I've been dabbling with him doing horror host stuff with kind of royalty free public domain films,
Yeah.
but YouTube sucks and there's a lot of copyright stuff. So that might slowly begin to alter, and I might do less of like maybe one of those a year with him. And then I
Yeah.
have some other stuff. Him and I are figuring out.
Hmm.
Howard wants to host some other stuff that might be happening in 2026. So
Okay.
we'll
Okay.
see. Howard
Well,
is a big part of Haunted Hangover.
I mean, I don't mean to say it like we're all great now, but I'm saying I got some plans for next season already. All right,
Good,
for
good.
Haunted Hangovers 2026 Halloween. All
Oh,
right,
all right.
so
Sounds good, man. Sounds good to me.
I would a you need something written, anything like that. I'd love to contribute.
Sounds like a
Um,
plan, man.
now I gotta say, 3 Halloween songs. Can you? I kind of wanted. I sent you these questions earlier just so that you at least thought about them a little
Yeah.
bit. But can you give me 3 Halloween songs?
So, 3 Halloween songs.
I know
I'm
that's
gonna
such a general question,
I
dude.
know
I'm
I got it.
sorry.
I got one already.
Okay.
So, Laurie's theme from Halloween.
Okay.
I know
Okay.
everyone loves like the main theme.
Mhm.
Obviously, that's popular. It's the Halloween theme. I think her theme, and actually, funny enough, I picked a variation of it in our recent Halloween mixtape episode for 2025.
Uh-huh.
Laurie's theme, I've always there's just a certain kind of uneasiness and darkness, and it reminds me of the autumn. I
Yeah.
picture Laurie Strode crossing the street and going to the
Walking
house
down the
with the
little
pumpkin
bit of
glowing
leaves in the
behind her.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, the pumpkin glowing. It just feels like the autumn. It feels eerie. It feels spooky.
Hmm.
That would definitely be a song I would put like that reminds me of the Halloween season. And this
It's
kind of
in
a
my
little
playlist.
taste.
It's in my playlist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a taste of just kind of what we do on the show because we kind of pick
Yeah.
off kilter songs. The next track I'm gonna give you super off kilter.
Okay.
Um, so
No monster mash here.
no Monster Mash. Grave Diggers from the Dark Side from the Tales from the Hood soundtrack.
Yes.
I love that movie. I love Grave Diggers' first album, 6 Feet Deep. That song's not on that album. That song's on that
Dude, I can't
song's
believe you
on
said Tales from the Hood. I
yeah,
I, I
I
did
love
an
Tales from the
episode
Hood.
on Tales from the Hood like 2 or
Oh,
3 years
really?
ago on another podcast, but yeah.
Awesome. But yeah, from the dark side, Gravediggers. If you know Wu-Tang Clan,
Yeah.
they kind of were
Grave.
associated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Gravediggers. My last song would be, and they're one of my favorite bands. I think they're universally loved by people. I love
Mhm.
the old school version of them. I would say like Halloween from the Misfits.
Okay,
Just
okay,
like
okay.
brings me like I love the Misfits,
Mhm.
the old like Glenn Danzig led Misfits I
Yes,
love,
yes,
and
yes.
I love that song. I love Halloween 1 and Halloween 2.
Dude,
So
I
I'm a huge Misfits fan. So
yeah.
there's a lot of Misfits songs that remind me of Halloween season. But if I had to pick one, it would be Halloween. And I'll give you a bonus track.
Yeah, okay, okay.
I'll give you a fourth one that reminds me of the Halloween season from another band I love, AFI Fall Children. The
Okay,
song
okay.
Fall Children from their
Yeah.
EP, All Hallows EP. That reminds me of the Halloween season as well. So there's four songs. You asked for three,
Yeah.
I gave you
I
four.
yeah, just one bonus. I'm gonna have to especially the AFI because I mean, of course I've heard
Yeah, yeah,
Danzig. I I I mean, I'm like you, I'm very much into themes.
yeah.
I mean that first, Nightmare on Elm Street, everything about that thing. I
It's
mean,
great.
the other part of that is I worked in a haunted house for about 5 years during
Nice.
the season, and that Nightmare on Elm Street was as like the only cassette they owned or something. So that was playing in the background about 24/7 in there, man. Like so many times I'd just be in there, stuck in there, like, with that music playing in the background, blaring in the background. So I could still hear that to this day.
That's
Um,
one thing I never got to do, man. I never got to work in a haunted attraction. I've
dude,
always set out. I have some friends that are in that industry, and I review them on the channel,
yes,
but like and
yes,
on the thing, but like I don't. I've never worked in one. And
yeah.
I should have like one of like the guys, someone I know, an acquaintance or something, be like, hey, can I work for free one night as a scare actor and just see what it's like for a
Oh,
couple of
I'm gonna tell
hours?
you right now, dude. Take some throat lozenges because you'll
Yeah,
lose your voice, and then you won't be able to
yeah.
record for like a week. So you
Probably
gotta
why I've never done it.
take
So
care of your instrument, bro.
yes, exactly. I'm like, no, not me, man. If I scream,
Yeah.
make sure I have everything pre-recorded before I
Yeah, dude. Because check this out. Like from maybe '96 to about 2001, I worked pretty consistently. Then 2004, I have kids, and
Yeah, yeah.
they're growing up, and I'm telling them, yeah, I used to work there, and I still knew all my old friends, so they let me back in. They said, hey, bring the kids by, we'll let them go through and everything. I went by, and then so my friend said, hey, man, can you do me a favor? Come on, come work out with us this season. Show these kids how to do it, stuff like that.
Show them
Um,
how it's done.
Dude, I lost my voice in one night. I
Wow.
never went
One
back.
night.
One night. I was
I
like,
know, dude.
that
I go to
that
some of these haunts and I see like these women, they're like high
that
pitched screams, and I'm like, how do you
dude,
do it?
how?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. I
it
don't know.
hurts. No,
Crazy.
yeah,
Crazy.
it was great, but I mean, the cool thing about it was I started when I was 15, dude, and I was working with grown men and grown women, and they were having
You
these
were a
big
kid.
parties afterwards, freaking, doing whatever got them through the night, to do that,
I know exactly what they were doing probably to get them
yes,
through the night. So
I'm telling you, dude.
yeah.
Here, kid, you want something? No, I'm good. Thank you, sir.
Would you like a bump? You're like, nah,
I
I'm all
gotta go
right.
to school. Yeah.
Yes.
No, no, I'm good.
You won't be sleeping for 2 days.
Oh man, but I do gotta continue about Haunted Hangover.
Mhm.
Is it Halloween all the time? Is there a section for Christmas? Is there, do you do anything? Is it just horror?
So it's predominantly obviously we do Halloween. We touch on Halloween all year long because it's kind of what I wanted to make a show for people like me who it's like this sounds corny too, but like
Yeah.
it's always like in my household, it's always my wife jokes it's always Halloween here because
Yeah.
we're two people. I'm lucky my wife's really into this stuff, so like we have monsters around and
Yes.
paraphernalia and stuff all over the place all the time. Like this is just how it is here, and she's very supportive and she likes this stuff too. So my wife's really into Halloween. So like
Yeah.
my house, when you enter my home, it's always spooky in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like I have pumpkins up there. They're always there. I don't take
Yes.
those down. They're
Oh,
just
okay.
there.
Cool.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
those guys are always there. They're usually lit up, but right now they're not lit up. But yeah, they're always there. That we have a little pumpkin. We have this guy because I live in an apartment on our
Yeah.
front door. He's there all year round. So like my
Dude,
wife
you
and I,
you
yeah,
you have a iconic. You have at least what 3 or 4 iconic Jack O' Lantern episodes. Like that
yeah,
is
yeah.
awesome, dude. That is awesome because I'm a big fan of the Jack O' Lantern kind of. My garage door is a big Jack O' Lantern right now.
I
It's
love Jack o'
I
lanterns,
got a
obviously.
I got a 7 by
Yeah.
16 foot banner of a I tried to replicate the Halloween Town pumpkin.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that one.
That's
Um
cool.
yeah.
I
So
I
I love
I
it, man.
But your original question, so like, yeah, predominantly Halloween and horror because I do love. I'm a big horror fan, especially old horror films. I love older horror films. So we do stuff like Universal Monsters. We've been doing for 2 years now, trying to cover all those movies. It's taken a little longer because things happen, so we're kind of doing them here and there, a couple a year. But yeah, no, we try. I always try to do something for Thanksgiving and something for the holiday. December is usually dedicated to the holidays. So like
Okay.
last year, for example, I'm a huge fan, and this isn't even necessarily a horror film. I'm a huge fan of Eyes Wide Shut.
Okay, okay.
That is a Christmas film. It
Mhm.
takes place during the holidays. So like Manny and I, one of my co-hosts, we jumped on and we talked for like 2 hours because he loves
Yeah.
Eyes Wide Shut as well, Stanley Kubrick. And we
Mhm.
talked about Eyes Wide Shut. We've done some Christmas TV show episodes, and we always do some holiday stuff. We always
Okay,
do. And
okay.
then Thanksgiving, the tradition the last 2 years, I'd say has been we do something called we did 1 year we did a Lucio Fulci feast, which we just talked about a bunch of Lucio Fulci stuff and death scenes in his movies.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then what we've been doing the last 2 years is pitting, and it's become our tradition. We're pitting two films, an original and a remake, against each other
Okay,
and
okay.
seeing which one's better. That's been like our tradition during the holidays we do. So we're doing one
Let's
this year
go.
and we're
Yeah.
gonna do a Christmas horror film. So yeah, no, it's
I like
we
it. I
do
like
we
it.
do holiday stuff. We didn't get to do iconic pumpkins this year,
Mhm.
but we have done iconic Santas in the past. We did I think
Yes,
two episodes,
I
two or
saw
three.
that. Yeah.
So my buddy Adam, Great Pumpkin Project, he couldn't get on this year. Life things happen. He didn't
Yeah.
have a chance to jump on the show this year. We couldn't
That
schedule.
project that he did or that he started, I mean, that was
He's
just
still doing it. Yeah.
it's very cool.
He's a friend
And
of the show.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy, great friend of the show. We couldn't do a iconic Jack O' Lantern episodes this year, just didn't work. So we may or may not be doing an iconic Santa Claus episode for the holidays. So you gotta
Well,
subscribe to
dude,
Haunted Hangover to find
yeah.
out.
Yeah. Uh but no, you know, I love the Universal Monsters, man. So
Yeah,
ever you needed someone for any of those, dude, let me know.
for
I
sure.
remember there used to be a book set that came out when I was a kid that highlighted those, and it's turned me on to them so much. Um, if I could pick your brain just a little bit more, um,
Go for it, man.
wrestling
I'm
horror
all
gimmicks,
yours.
brother. Wrestling horror gimmicks.
Wrestling
Who
horror gimmicks.
who's your favorite? What's your favorite one? Uh, I need to know.
There aren't that many. That's what kind of sucks. Is like there's only
Okay.
a handful. You can probably use two
I mean,
hands to count them
Undertaker
all.
has to be the favorite, right?
I
Like, I
mean,
mean,
Undertaker's
yeah,
Taker. Like, there's no
yeah,
denying, like Undertaker. I was, unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. More contemporary. I did like Bray Wyatt and just kind
yeah.
of what he had to offer.
I saw his last match live, brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, shit. So yeah,
yeah.
I'm a big Bray guy. I love what he did with the Firefly Funhouse, the
Hmm.
evil Mr. Rogers thing, and then turning into the Fiend.
Yes,
That was
yes,
really
yes.
cool. I love the Brood, the
Oh, yes,
vampire
yes.
faction.
Yes, I love that you put their theme as one
Yeah.
of your songs. I love that.
I was a big fan of the Brood in the late 90s, early 2000s. Who else? I mean, those are three right there. But I did obviously Kane. I think the scary version of Mankind was
Oh, dude, the
cooler
early,
than
yeah,
yeah, when he was like hanging out in the boiler room and he was
pulling
squealing
his
like
hair out.
Leatherface. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that version of Mankind. Like he was like the Undertaker's like adversary before Kane came out, his brother. Um,
Y'all
there was
talk
that
about some of
one.
the bad WCW ones,
Oh, I
like
mean,
the Yeti.
we talked about the Yeti, his one appearance when we covered that show a few years ago, that Halloween Havoc. The Yeti was
Yeah,
terrible. I mean, the Dungeon of Doom, as bad as that was, there were some
yeah.
fun like gimmick changes with some of the wrestlers that they were trying to make them spooky. Um, so there was this one dude. I mean, he had a great presentation. Kevin Thorne, he was in like the
Yeah.
ECW. He was a vampire as well. It was like him. Then he had a woman with him. She was always falling out of her dress and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
She was
yeah,
a vampire and she would like hang on the ropes like a bat. That was cool. There's
yeah,
always been like a flair of horror in wrestling. So
yeah.
like that always popped up throughout the years. So whenever they did it as a horror Halloween guy, I always gravitated towards those characters. But don't get me wrong, I still, I'm wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm a huge Stone Cold fan. He
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
scary.
yeah.
I'm a huge to this day. I think one of the coolest wrestlers. Like he just was a cool guy. He was just cool and charismatic. Was Razor Ramon. So
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah,
to this day, like I joke around, like Uzo Machismo. Like he was
yeah.
like a
Yeah,
man's
yeah.
man. He was
But
fucking
again,
cool.
we didn't know that he wasn't, a Latino, right? Like,
No, he was
and
not at all.
we
He
didn't
was.
know. We did not know. We
I
thought,
did not
yeah,
know. Six,
yeah,
7, 8-year-old Louis had no idea that he was not
no,
Spanish.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and I just thought he was cool with the mullet and the toothpick and the
yeah,
the, the colorful shirts and the chains and the hairy chest coming out. He was just a manly dude. It was
yeah.
cool. And like I could watch
His
his matches
promos
back.
were good.
Oh,
Yeah,
they were the best.
yeah.
That match he had with the 1-2-3 kid, obviously the first ladder match with Shawn
Oh,
Michaels is epic. Like he had some great, when I
you
think it
get
was him and the
you
1-2-3 kid for like the money. I remember that
you
was a
get
great
out to
feud.
any live events there in New York?
New York, yeah.
Yeah.
I go to both. Whenever I can, I go to.
Y'all got a crowd that's like no other, man. Like
Yeah,
the New
yeah.
York crowd, I mean, love it or hate it, it's they'll let you know whether you're over or not.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters out here. So there's a lot of people that really are loud. But yeah, dude, like I said, I'm a fan of both companies, like the two big companies.
Mhm.
So I go to both. I've been to a bunch of AEW shows. I've been going to WWE shows most of my life.
Yeah.
They're getting a little overpriced now, and I'm one of those
Oh,
guys that
dude.
likes to get decent seats.
Yes.
So like if it's like
No.
astronomical, I'm like, it's not worth. I'd rather watch it at home. If I'm gonna get
My
nosebleeds, I'd
yeah.
rather just watch it at home at this point in my life.
My
So
brother-in-law's brother, he works in props, bro.
yeah.
So every once in a while, he's like, "Hey, you know, just get in
Oh
the
really?
building, and I'll
Oh
get you
wow.
down here." And I've been lucky enough. I'm sitting on one right now, but I've got 3 or 4 ringside seats
Nice.
to pay-per-views. I've been lucky enough to have been ringside for a few SmackDowns at Raw. So yeah,
That's sick.
I'm a big fan. AEW's here, I think Wednesday, this
Yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, I was trying to go, but I don't think I'm gonna make it because
I
I support live
yeah.
wrestling, bro. Live
Yeah, no,
wrestling is
me
where it's
too.
at.
They have, some indie federations like near me that they always do. And I tend to whenever I have free time, I mean nothing
I
beats
mean,
going to a live wrestling
dude,
event.
one of the great things is around Halloween time is these indie promotions. They'll do something, with the Halloween theme. So, um, I do got to close it up with you. Um, I got a couple of just real quick hitters that I want from you. Halloween Town. Where are you on that show? On that movie?
So you want to hear something funny about that? Someone asked me that recently. There's for some reason I have no nostalgia for that movie.
It's probably not
I
of your
don't
time, brother.
know why. So when did that come out? 2000?
I don't. Maybe 2000. Maybe
Yeah,
2000.
I think what happened with me in Halloween Town is at that point in my life, I was super into like horror movies and music.
Oh,
So
like
I was just like,
yeah, that was
obviously
in
Halloween,
98, 98.
98. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I was still in the 98. I was getting into like a lot of like music and stuff and horror movies. So I think what happened was I just didn't, I've seen it a bunch of times, but like it just was not, it didn't resonate with me. I
Mhm.
want to cover it on the show soon because I want to watch it now. Like I haven't seen it in years. And I know there's
No,
like two
dude.
or three of them, but for some reason it doesn't resonate with me compared to something like Hocus
Yeah.
Pocus or
Oh,
Nightmare
yeah, yeah,
Before
yeah, yeah.
Christmas,
No.
or the many Halloween films I watched growing up. So there's just something about I from what I remember, I enjoy it,
Yeah.
but I just don't have any nostalgia for it. It's weird.
No, 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 no. There's people that don't know or have a clue of what I'm talking about, but uh, for me, it was always like the perfect. I don't want to say corny because it's not. I don't think it's corny at all, but it's the perfect kind of just kind of nostalgic kind of feel to it. Like it does seem a bit old school for me. I really liked it. So if you ever needed somebody with you,
Oh, I might have to have you
I'd
on to
love to
cover it.
do it, dude. Like
Yeah, yeah.
it is a guilty pleasure, I should say, of mine because no one's going out. I mean, I was 18 at the time, so no one's going out and telling their friends, "Hey, did you see Halloween Town?" But
I mean, I
now, I
feel
mean, I've
yeah,
scouted to the heavens, and one of the great things about doing my show now is I cover it from a dad's point of view, kind of
yeah.
sometimes. So I say that like this is we did Field of Dreams, and if you've seen Field of Dreams, like
It's a
it,
great
I
movie.
remember Field of Dreams making you feel a certain way, but after raising a baseball player and going through stuff with him, it's like I kind of see it in a whole different way. Like, dude, like we were
Mm.
3 shows into our podcast, and we are both kind of crying on the
Oh
show.
wow.
I mean, because I don't know any man that could watch Field of Dreams and not cry.
I mean, it's a very yeah, no, it's a very magical film. I do like
Yeah,
Field of Dreams. I actually watched it, I don't know, like two years ago. I put it on. It's a very
baseball,
well
dude.
acted film. So it's
Baseball.
yeah,
Baseball's
and it's
romantic,
baseball,
man.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's like a league of their own. It's just a
yeah.
great like again, I have a thing for baseball because I grew up, around it so much. So like for me, it's
Yeah.
obviously I'm a horror Halloween
What
guy,
about
but
Moneyball? Moneyball.
yeah, Moneyball too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love a league of their own and Field of Dreams. Those are probably two like quintessential baseball films.
Okay.
But yeah, Halloween Town, I will get you on in the future, and
Yeah.
I do want to cover it because I feel like I should watch it with fresh eyes, which is weird because like I have this affinity for the haunted Goosebumps, the haunted mask. We actually just did
Yes.
episodes covering
Yes. It's good.
part one came out, and
Yeah.
now part two is dropping. I mean, the time of this recording, it might be up already. It's going up next week, so
Okay. Okay.
it'll be up before Halloween comes. But yeah, like I have an affinity for those. Those were like 95, 96. So
Yeah.
it's weird how, yeah, Halloween Town. I don't know where I was at in 98 that it wasn't on my radar as much as some of
I
these other
I was
things.
kind of
Weird.
thinking like, is it because you're on the East Coast and it seems more like a West Coast type of movie.
It's interesting. Yeah.
I kind of thought that of course Hocus Pocus is going to be bigger. I mean that was not. I don't know. I always feel like movies that came out in '93 for some reason
I mean,
just hit a
Jurassic Park
special
is like
spot
one of my
spot
favorite
with
movies
me.
of
Yeah.
all time. That was 93. So like it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, 93 was a wild year. You think
Wayne's
of Hocus
World,
Pocus, Wayne's World. I
The
mean,
Program.
I mean, Last Action Hero came out in 93, didn't it? So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that came out in 90. Body Bags came out in
Yeah.
93, the John Carpenter film. And that's I remember renting that. That was my mom rented. I was like, and making me
That's one
watch
of
that
those
thing.
classic
Yeah,
VHS covers, right?
yeah,
That Body
yeah.
Bags cover.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. 93 was a wild year for just cinema. I mean, Jurassic Park gobbled everything up. That was
Yeah.
literally like just every movie was like Jurassic Park, because Jurassic Park was the movie of 93. And
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Jurassic Park is like one of my favorite non-horror films of all time, even though it
Oh,
kind of is a horror film when you
no,
think about it.
it's a fun movie. Like people go
It's
into those
scary.
movies wanting too
Yeah.
much and
Yeah, yeah.
the plot, man, you're getting chased by dinosaurs. That's the
I mean,
plot.
dinosaurs eat people in that movie. I
The
always told people
fucking
it's a
dinosaurs
horror
open
movie.
doors.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
it's a
That
horror. It scared the shit
there's
out of me when
not
we saw it in theaters
yes,
though.
there's not a scene that's much more scarier than that scene where the raptor is chasing the kids in that kitchen.
Dude, the scene that got me in Jurassic Park was the scene where Laura Dern Ellie Grant is inside of like she's turning on the power, and then Sam Jackson's arm like is on
Yes.
her, like, and then she
Yeah.
thinks it's him, and she's like, oh, and then she Mr. Arnold, and then she
Yeah.
turns, and it's like a severed arm, bloody and gross, and then the raptor just like pop, like if that's a horror
Like,
movie, guys,
like
like.
the Raptors were like, I mean, they played the role of Freddy like
Oh, Hunter, there's
perfectly.
like Jason in there. I mean,
Yeah.
dude, I always tell people, not, I don't know, we're going off on a tangent here, but
Yeah. No. No. It's
that
not a podcast
scene,
if you don't go off on tangents,
yes,
man.
that scene, you know, again, when I was a little, Laura Dern was my crush too. Laura Dern in that
I
movie.
was gonna say it.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna bring it up, but yes.
And like, so to see her, she was almost like a final girl in that movie. To
Yeah.
see her try to like save the day and turn the
Yeah.
power on, and then like Sam Jackson's arm is severed on her. The raptors are trying to eat her. Like in the atmosphere in those scenes with the gates, and it's all industrial looking. That is what I dream to make in like a film, like a heart, like a
Oh,
scary
dude.
scene like that. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't,
I love it.
I it's one of my favorite films of all. If people ask me what's your favorite non-horror film, I say Jurassic Park, even though it's technically like a horror film. But yes,
Oh.
continue. Sorry, I know you
No,
had
no, no.
more you wanted to run through there.
No, you're great. To hear you talk about it, you get the love for it. Um,
For sure.
Monster Squad. Where are you at on Monster Squad?
Dude, Monster
I,
Squad's one of the best.
okay, thank you. Because I mean, whether we're gonna have a friendship or not was gonna vary on this topic here. Because I was like, he's gotta love Monster Squad too, right? Like
Oh,
that's
dude,
the
yeah,
last
yeah.
thing.
We haven't covered it on the show just because
Have
I
you
feel like
not?
so
Is it
many
too
people.
mainstream or?
No, it's not that it's mainstream. It's just I feel like a lot of people have. Well, I mean, we'll get to it one day. I'm sure we'll do like we do our episodes where we cover a physical release of the movie on Blu-ray,
Yeah,
and we talk about the special features. Then we talk about those are usually very long form. So those we do a couple of those a year.
yeah,
Um, but we'll do the Monster Squad. I mean,
yeah,
I remember watching it on HBO when I was like 6. Like I love that movie.
dude,
I
yeah,
adore that movie. Dare I say I love it more than Goonies, and I love Goonies, but
yeah,
I like Monster Squad more because it resonates with me more for obvious reasons. Like
yeah, dude.
it's the Goonies
It
with monsters. Like,
dude.
you know,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. We had a debate on our podcast channel. The Now Watch This Watchers. It's Monster Squad or Goonies because my friend's a Goonie fan, and I was like, well, I mean, I love both, but if we're choosing, I gotta let you know that Monster Squad's far better. But
Yeah.
I would say this is there's certain aspects of Monster Squad that are great. Of course there's aspects that couldn't go on now, but I mean
Of course.
it is on my desert island of movies. Like if I can take only 5 movies with me to a deserted island, that's one of them that I would take to watch, man. So I just love Monster Squad.
Oh, so do
Um,
I. Dude, listen, man, that's a movie I will always say it's a very tight script, tightly edited, tightly made. It's like an hour and 15, hour and 20
yeah,
minutes. It's
hour and a
just
half,
a
perfect.
very well-made movie. I have tons of nostalgia. Honestly, it probably would be in my like top 10 as well. I just don't talk about it a lot because I think it's been covered to death. So
Yeah,
it's come up a couple times on the show, but we haven't covered it yet. I'm
yeah,
sure one day we'll do a full episode kind of dissecting it, and we'll probably do
yeah.
like a physical release or something of the whole thing of that, because we do love collecting movies, Manny and I. So
Yes,
we'll
yes.
probably do
Well,
we'll
it
do
used to
a
be
haunted
one of
hall.
those, man. Like it
Yes,
used to
yes,
be one
yes.
of those secret treasures that you could only find
On
at a tape
VHS.
shop. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
for
had
a
a
long time.
dude. I had a copy on VHS that I treasured, and
I
then
still have my copy.
one day my kid pressed record on the
Oh
VCR
no.
and erased like a clip of it, and I couldn't be too mad. But
Yeah, yeah,
dude,
yeah.
it those that I just because you're right, it has been covered to death, but I don't understand like how in the time of day, and I'm not crying for a remake because God knows that they'd probably ruin it.
They wouldn't do a good job, no.
Uh, that it hasn't been touched. You know what I mean? I think
It's a cult
the
film.
Universal monsters are the aspect of it that drew me. So maybe it's that that they can't get that together yet. So
A
I'm
movie
hoping.
like that was made, that's an 80s like, that's a film that only the 80s could have created. So for me, I don't think they'll ever, just like the Goonies, and I do love the Goonies too, don't get me wrong. I just
But
feel
they
like,
couldn't do that again.
no, I think if they tried, it just wouldn't work. It's just
Yeah.
not gonna be. it's gonna be Stranger Things-ified, basically, is what's gonna happen.
There you
Which
go.
is what's gonna happen. And for me, it's like whatever, just leave it be, leave it as it is. Because for me, it's a perfect film. It's a very well made movie. The kids are great in it. The monster effects are great in it. That showdown in the little village from Back to the
Yes,
Future with like
Rudy
Dracula,
kicking
Rudy
ass,
with the crossbow and the cigarette in his mouth, killing the brides and then shooting the wolf man.
dude.
Like it's
Yeah,
a character those are like characters you'll never see in 2025,
yes,
2026 going
yeah.
forward. So Monster Squad, look, dude, I know I haven't talked about a lot on my show, but I do adore, and I watch that movie
Okay,
at least once a year. So and I own 2 copies of it. I own a Blu-ray and I
there
own
we
my
go.
VHS copy when you couldn't even get a Blu-ray or DVD
Yes,
of it
when it wasn't streaming anywhere. So yes,
anywhere. Yeah.
sir.
Classic. Monster Squad is classic.
All right, man. And I swear you keep talking, and I just want to ask you more and more questions, brother.
Shoot,
But
dude. I got a little
no,
more time if you got anything to want to ask me. So it's up to you.
no,
So,
I'm gonna cap us off there, but
okay.
only because I want you back.
Okay.
So Louis, anytime that I can bend your ear on something, I'm going to, man. I had a great time, but before we kick off here, can you tell our watchers where they can find you at?
I want to thank you first for having me on. This was a lot of fun. I just, shoot
Dude,
the
it went
shit.
the time flew by quick.
Shoot the shit. Listen, man, I could talk about horror, nostalgia, Halloween. I could talk about anything. That's
Yeah.
what I do. But I appreciate you having me on. I know
Yes.
you've recently been talking to me in the last month or so, and you didn't have anything to be worried about. No
Yeah.
nervousness here. I'm not that type of guy. I'm hoping
No, dude,
talking
you're
to me
you're
here
awesome.
made you realize, all right, Louie's not a dickhead. Uh, but if you
Like,
are interested in finding my show, we're pretty easy to find. HauntedHangover.com. We'll give you a link, our link tree website.
yeah.
That's like our official website right now, HauntedHangover.com. Everything's on there. We're on YouTube. We're on most of the popular
Yeah.
podcast apps, which are basically Spotify and Apple Podcast, I'd say, and a couple of other ones.
You're right up
Uh,
there. Yeah.
we're on there. We're on, the YouTube channel. We've got video versions of all of our episodes. We've got haunt reviews. We've got everything over there. We're on all the social medias. Instagram mostly, I think, is where we're mostly active.
Yes,
But we're
sir.
on Twitter, Blue Sky, Facebook, all that stuff. So you can just find us, Haunted Hangover. We're everywhere. It's pretty easy to find. HauntedHangover.com. You'll get everything on the
Well, thank
website.
you, Louis, man. I know right now is your busy time of year. You know,
Yeah.
it's your Christmas, so
Yes.
it's coming, brother. And the fact that it lands on a Friday this year, I got some plans. I don't know if my daughter's hearing me outside of here, so while she's dressing up as Coraline
Oh,
this
nice.
year,
That's a great
so
movie.
we're planning on getting dressed up too. So we have a Halloween party, and I hope to be able to share some pics with you, man.
Oh, perfect.
Um,
Yeah, send them my
but
way, man.
again, it was great to meet you. Great to have you on. I do hope that this is the beginning of a good friendship, that I can have you on, you can have me on, and we can help each other out. I know I've tried to do my part, and at least I want to turn my people on to other good things that I enjoy. So hopefully, me sharing that out there has gotten you some new fans. So I'm hopeful for that. If not, you have one here, brother. So
Thank you. Thank you. I
Louis
really
Cortez,
appreciate it.
man. Yes, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, watchers. You know the deal. You guys keep watching and keep listening to us, and we'll keep having good people on like this. So thank you guys. Remember hauntedhangover.com for Louis Cortez. Please give them a watch, give them a listen, give them a like, give them a subscribe. But we need more good Halloween content out there, and this is the man that provides it. So thank you guys. Oh, whoa. Okay. This is Dr. Dre. Party's going on. Thank God it's Friday.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Tell me something, my friend. You ever
ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Hey, life's a risk, carnal.
I do a great impression of a hot dog.
Billy likes to drink soda.
So am I to understand that you men completed your training on your own?
That's the fact, Jack!
Come on, seriously, who is that?
I only came here to do two things, man. Kick some ass and drink some beer. Looks like we're almost out of beer.